We could be on the verge of one of the greatest financial stories to ever exist, or one of the greatest debunkings of a conspiracy theory ever. Because President Trump says he's going to Fort Knox to inspect the gold reserves with Elon Musk. Now, for decades, there have been rumors upon rumors that Fort Knox has been emptied of its gold reserves. Whether this is true or not, it looks like we're going to find out. If it turns out that it is empty, there's less explaining to do. Less explaining to do. As the price of gold would respond accordingly. Would it crash or would it spike? I don't know. I think you would see the price of Bitcoin go through the roof. I think you'd just see that absolutely skyrocket if there was nothing in there. If the gold reserves are as they say they are, I wouldn't expect much of a reaction by the financial markets except for the direction of assurance. If it turns out that it is completely full, this also debunks one of the greatest conspiracy theories ever. That Fort Knox had all of its gold stolen. And you'll hear new theories on, did they test every single bar and blah, blah, blah. You can already see it. But let's get into the story a little bit here. President Trump said Thursday he intends to make a trip to Fort Knox in Kentucky to inspect the nation's gold reserves amid a push from Elon Musk and some Republicans to conduct a review of the facility. I'm actually going on this one. All my life I've heard about Fort Knox. That's where the gold is kept, Trump told Republican governors at a reception in Washington. We're getting a little bit shaky. We're getting the yips on this stuff. Like I want to find out, Trump said. We're going to open the doors. I'm going to see if we have the gold there. Did anybody steal the gold from Fort Knox? Musk, with the encouragement of Republicans like Senator Rand Paul and Senator Mike Lee of Utah, has pushed for a review of Fort Knox and spread unfounded claims that the reserves are missing from the facility. I can't speak for Mike Lee, but what I can say is that Rand Paul has never accused the Treasury Department of emptying Fort Knox. What he has clearly said is that there is a lack of accountability when it comes to the gold reserve count, because it hasn't been counted in decades. Decades. I believe it was 1972 the last time it was audited. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said in a recent interview that there is an annual audit of Fort Knox and that all the gold is present and accounted for. The audit of that gold should be done visually, because we're talking about an asset so precious to this country and so precious to the world that its direct accounting has direct implications on the global financial system. It's that important. Fort Knox has stored the country's gold reserves for decades. Fort Knox also hosts the Army's largest yearly training event each summer. There is currently 147.3 million ounces of gold at Fort Knox, according to the United States Treasury, which is roughly half of the Treasury Department's gold. The other half is spread amongst other sites. We know there's some at the Federal Reserve Bank under the streets of Manhattan. We also know that there's some locked away in West Point. Locked away in West Point. And probably a couple of other sites, who knows, like Mount Rushmore and Washington's Skull or something, who knows. But the president himself going to Fort Knox to be there with Elon and the DOGE boys as they go through the gold at Fort Knox and open the vault doors. I assume we're going to see this on camera. We're talking about President Trump here, so there's no way this isn't on camera. So with him, Elon, and a couple of media in tow, They're going to walk into the gold reserves at Fort Knox. This is exciting. This is exciting. It's either going to devastate the global economy, or it's going to debunk one of the greatest conspiracy theories ever, that the gold was stolen from Fort Knox, and give birth to a million new conspiracy theories, like I said previously. That the gold wasn't tested, that they just walked in and took a look, and that it was basically Wonka bars in gold foil wrappers. You can already hear the conspiracy theories starting. But I think just walking in with cameras, with the president and Elon and the DOGE boys and some cameras, will do a lot to reassure the world of the validity of our gold count and give the base price. And we've heard rumors that he is going to reprice gold. And if that's the case, whatever he's going to reprice gold to is probably going to be a lot higher than what it is now. Let me just check. Going to cnbc.com. Going to gold price, which is $2,949 an ounce, with silver sitting at 32. 32. If he reprices gold, that's going to be a hell of a reprice. Maybe double, 6,000, 8,000. Imagine what that's going to do for silver, which is already outside of its historical norms. It's at like a 90-something to 1 ratio. The historic gold-silver ratio is 16 to 1. So silver may be one heck of a thing. No investment advice. I sure that I wouldn't listen to me talk about investing. That's for damn sure. But the president, with Elon, the DOGE team, going into Fort Knox. Hold on a second. Going into Fort Knox with cameras. This may be one of the biggest stories of our lifetime. And in a month full of huge stories from this administration, this would be the biggest. And we haven't even touched some of the other stories that could be even bigger than this. Haven't even talked about extraterrestrials or secret space programs or secret aircraft programs or none of the really juicy stuff. So this will either debunk or confirm, give assurance, or send everything into a tailspin. Either way, we're going to be here to watch it. I appreciate you watching. If you've watched it up until now, I'd really love if you'd hit the like and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. And we'll catch you next time. I thank you.